20 years ago, we could control messages. 10 years ago, we might even be able to control a lot of the people we had to work with. Today, a lot of the people who can impact us, or who we impact, whether it be inside the company, whether it be our customers, whether it be the communities beside us, they are liberated. They get more and more information. They have access to giving their voice to the public. The public has access to mobilize against what they don't believe in. The expectation is that the CEO today, that senior management, think about the full impact of their decisions on society. The risk is, if we don't think about the full risks, those risks slowly get bigger and bigger, and suddenly can take away permits, can add costs due to unforeseen delays, or can take away brand value. The financial crisis is a reflection of a deeper crisis. We've had 200 years of perfection of production, 200 years where we have amazing management systems, a lot of knowledge, a lot of good tools, a lot of great production lines, but we have been focusing a lot on technical and economic and not enough on environmental compatibility and public acceptability. That challenge inherently is one that we are now talking about and have to face up to. Smart business is to look inside our decision-making process from the eyes not only of you and the management team, but of all the people who can impact you or who you can impact. It's learning from the ground up. It's learning from the environment around us coming back in. It's asking ourselves the tough questions and having the skill and the integrity to work down the path to coming out another side where we're waking up in the morning and things are clicking again, things go easy. A good business works in a way that you're busy and you make a profit. Being busy, being very stressed and profit getting more and more difficult, something's not quite right. The ideal situation that a business will face is that all the departments run together in a very clear and joined and holistic fashion, in a way that the lawyers know what the PR people are doing and why they're doing it. The lawyers actually understand the impact of their contracts on the supply chain. The supply chain people have their voice and their concerns heard before they become problems. The customers are aware of the downside of the products before someone leaks it. And everyone knows that together there is a future, together there is a better business. What that means is projects and products become technically feasible, economically viable. We're excellent at doing that nowadays. Environmentally compatible, publicly acceptable. We have to move the meetings, the hundreds of meetings we have, and the expertise and the resources away from the technically and economically viable to technically, economically, environmentally and publicly happy. That's a totally different set of skills that most professions today don't have. The biggest opportunity is enabling our key people, in fact all our staff, to be aware of the impacts of those decisions, to open their ears to what the people outside the inner circle are actually saying, and to see things from the perspective of those impacted and who can impact us as much as we see things from the perspective of the management team. The people outside can help us achieve much better business, because most of what we see as serious problems inside a business, whether it be businesses held to ransom, corruption, whether it be losing permits, a lot of the problems come from inside the business. the origin of the problems are often created unwittingly by ourselves. And that's an own goal that in today's world and today's competition is a very expensive own goal. Nobody likes change. Why change if we don't have to? Often we need a crisis to change. So the biggest obstacle is the lack of a crisis. Having a crisis, Greek word for change, a decision leading to change, forces us to think about these bigger issues that are embracing and interacting with business today. An obstacle is we think, it's kind of working, we get numb with it. An obstacle is, I've done it this way for 20 years, why should it change? An obstacle is maybe egos. So and so I don't like so much, they're saying something but I don't really want to listen to them because I'm maybe more important. Obstacle is I simply don't have time. My current day-to-day problems are so big and so time-consuming that I sometimes don't see the cause of these symptoms. The symptoms we see, we're getting busier. The cause of the symptoms, we need time to relax and think about it, or we need a crisis to force us to focus on it. Smart business is a set of trainings, coachings, a mentality change that takes you from the 20th century and prepares you for the 22nd. It makes us open up to the reality of all of the challenges we're facing today, all of the risks that are coming our way, becoming aware of the opportunities which are around us, lets us incorporate our environment, our society, all of those expectations into our decision-making process in a way that we don't make so many own goals, in a way that we do mobilize the intelligence that we all have and our team has. Smart business is your way of profiting from the last 200 years of intense expertise enhancement in doing business and making that sustainable. Some of the smart business products obviously are customized, tailored. Some of the smart business products are smart business for PR, smart business for environmental, smart business for general management, etc. So in the interview setting up the training, we will identify the amount of clarity there is in where the business is going. Once that's clear, that is clear, we then move on to where are we now relative to that, both in getting the job done and having the right team to get the job done. As we go through that process, we will be identifying people who will be trained as internal coaches to help the business become smart. If it makes more sense to mobilize more resources and to do this in a shorter amount of time, then experts from our international network will be mobilized and taken in to give the training at the right place at the right time. But emphasis always will be on empowering the internal team and the close consultants to be able to get the job done. The format of the product is, first of all, we as facilitators have to listen. We have to really understand the day-to-day challenges that people are faced with. So say we had to do a workshop on introducing smart business to the legal department. We would listen to, not only to the lawyers, we would listen to all the people in the company who interact with the lawyers, and we'd listen to all the people outside who have something to do with the lawyers and contracts. And then we would analyse the current way that department is doing business from the eyes of people outside. And we'd allow slowly a strong clarity to be built on where we're creating and protecting value and where in fact through our own activities we are eroding value. So at the end of the day, it's very important if we do a training, it has to be designed for the needs of that company in partnership with the senior management. Listening to all the important stakeholders. So SMART training is not just a one-off training, it's an audit first, then the training, then follow-up. Periodically, Astenico will be running trainings for people from lots of client bases, focusing on smart business in legal, smart business in marketing, smart business in general management, smart business in finance, and those programs will be run as and when market requires. It was launched 5 years ago. Smart Business we've used inside our client base for the last 5 years. It's matured in the last year and a half, and it's in its current form going public, and that's happening essentially from the middle of this summer onwards. The way we've developed Smart Business within Astenico Management has come through 20 years of experience working on various, mainly infrastructure projects, where we've seen very busy technical projects fail, even though they're good technically, and other projects where the senior management are having time for outsiders, listening, talking, succeed. One of the key understandings that Astenico brings to Smart Business is in the word eco. It's the opportunity that exists between being responsible to the community of stakeholders that we impact and the environment in which we operate. So environment, opportunity, community. Eco is also being economically strong and being ecologically intelligent. Concrete benefits: reduced time in court, reduced PR budget to try to defend a decision that maybe is not defendable, reduced opportunity loss due to permits not being given, reduced damage to the environment that was never necessary, reduced turnover of talented people who get fed up with our old way of doing business, reduced low morale. We get a team of people who know why they're there, a team of people who are motivated and who are challenged. They're using all of their brain, not just some of it. Reduce conflicts inside the company and outside. Overall, a real investment in the sustainability of the business. I'm investing $10 into this, I'm going to get 15 back. I'm not throwing money away. I'm strategic in the approach to sustainability. This is what inherently has got to be built into more and more of our businesses today. You're a procurement manager. You know you need to somehow or another address the challenges of sustainability, the challenges of community involvement, the challenges of supply chain. Smart Business courses for you. You're a marketing manager. You somehow have to get to a point where your stakeholders are doing the marketing for you. You can't control everything anymore from the agency, from the studio. Smart Business is for you. You're a general manager. You're not quite sure anymore what kind of a team you need, who to listen to. Messages are coming from everywhere. Smart Business is for you. You're a human resource manager. You're not getting the really good, strong people in your team to become exceptional. Or you're losing good people. Or there's some conflict between people. Or there's too much stress in the office and people are not performing well enough. Something somewhere is changing and getting more difficult. Smart Business is for you. In a lot of our experience, there's lots of certificates, diplomas, degrees, and some people who get the job done. Our focus is on getting the job done. If people think they need degrees, certificates, diplomas, they can be made available. But we firmly believe that it's the mentality change that counts. And that's a journey that you have to do, each person has to do inside themselves, and is only certified by actually being more successful at work. So the guarantee of success is not the certificate you get from the end of these trainings, it's the fact that the mentality has been addressed, that people have had an experience to see why they have problems and how they can resolve these. And people are given the tools to actually get that change happening. So we put implementation ahead of certification.